Welcome to the virtual meeting room for the draft environmental impact statement for proposed Cook Inlet OCS oil and gas lease sale 258. Lease sale 258 is tentatively scheduled for late 2021. BOEM has prepared this draft environmental impact statement, or EIS, to analyze the potential impacts of the proposed sale. The EIS examines the proposed action, a no-action alternative, and 3 other alternatives that meet the purpose and need. We would like your input on the draft EIS. We will take that input into consideration when producing our final EIS later this year. The Cook Inlet planning area is located off the coast of south-central Alaska. It includes Cook Inlet waters beyond 3 nautical miles from shore, which is the limit of State of Alaska submerged lands. The proposed lease sale is scheduled to be held in the second half of 2021. It would offer for lease all available outer continental shelf blocks in the northern 20% of the Cook Inlet planning area, shown in orange on the map. This area encompasses approximately 1.09 million acres. The estimated resource potential for the proposed lease sale area includes approximately 162.7 million barrels of oil and up to 290.7 billion cubic feet of natural gas. There are currently 14 leased blocks in the Cook Inlet planning area, all held by Hillcorp Alaska LLC, which obtained them in a similar lease sale held in 2017. There are currently no oil or gas platforms in the federal waters of Cook Inlet. There are 16 platforms located in the state waters of Cook Inlet. The 2017 to 2022 National OCS Oil and Gas Program provided for 1 lease sale in the federal waters of Cook Inlet. On September 10, 2020, BOEM published a Notice of Intent to prepare an EIS. This publication initiated a 30-day scoping period. During scoping, our scientists and other specialists essentially tell the public we are about to prepare an EIS, and we ask, as we do so, are there any specific concerns or issues you would like us to address in the EIS? The input our specialists receive is then used to help inform preparation of the draft EIS. This draft EIS was released to the public January 13, 2021, and published in the Federal Register on January 15th. Virtual public hearings have been scheduled for February 9th, 10th, and 11th, during which time members of the public can give testimony and have their comments become part of the public record. The comments we receive during this public comment period will, in turn, help inform preparation of our final EIS to be published later this year. It is important to note that the publication of this draft EIS does not mean that the final decision to hold the lease sale has been made. Rather, the final EIS will be one piece of information that the Department of the Interior uses when making their final decision whether to hold the sale. In addition to the proposed action, which is to hold a lease sale as previously described, and the no-action alternative, which is to not hold the lease sale, BOEM has developed 3 draft alternatives to help focus and encourage public input. These draft alternatives address concerns related to beluga whales, the northern sea otter, and the Cook Inlet gillnet fishery, respectively. The beluga whale mitigation alternative was developed to address concerns related to the Cook Inlet beluga whale distinct population segment. This alternative includes 3 sub-alternatives. The first sub-alternative is the beluga whale critical habitat exclusion. In this sub-alternative, all available lease blocks would be offered. The 10 OCS blocks that overlap with beluga whale critical habitat at the northern tip of the proposed lease sale area would be excluded from the sale. This alternative affects 29,372 acres, or 2.68% of the proposed lease sale area. beluga whale critical habitat within the excluded OCS blocks represents approximately 0.85% of the total area of the beluga whale critical habitat. This subalternative was developed in response to a request by the Seldovia village tribe. The second subalternative is beluga whale critical habitat mitigation. In this subalternative, all available OCS blocks would be offered for lease. However, the 10 OCS blocks overlapping beluga whale critical habitat at the northern tip of the proposed lease sale area, shown in purple on the map, would be included in the lease sale with a stipulation that would prohibit on-lease seismic surveys or exploration drilling between November 1st and April 1st, when beluga whales are most likely to be present. Finally, the third subalternative is beluga whale near-shore feeding areas mitigation. In this subalternative, all available OCS blocks would be offered for lease with a stipulation that would prohibit on-lease seismic surveys or exploration drilling between November 1st and April 1st, when beluga whales are distributed throughout Cook Inlet. In addition, a stipulation that prohibits on-lease seismic surveys or exploration drilling between July 1st and September 30th would be applied to the 146 OCS blocks located within 10 miles of major anadromous streams, the green hatched areas on the map, when beluga whales are migrating from their summer feeding area. The northern sea otter mitigation draft alternative was developed to minimize potential impacts to the northern sea otter, the southwest Alaska distinct population segment of which is listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. This draft alternative has two sub-alternatives. First, the northern sea otter critical habitat exclusion. This sub-alternative has a critical habitat exclusion that would exclude from the sale the 7 OCS blocks, the blue hatched area on the map, that overlap northern sea otter critical habitat. The sea otter critical habitat within the proposed lease sale area is 29,388 acres, or 2.69% of the proposed sale area. This sub-alternative was developed in response to a request by the Seldovia village tribe. The second subalternative is northern sea otter critical habitat mitigation. In this subalternative, all available OCS blocks will be offered for lease with a stipulation that would prohibit lessees from discharging drilling fluids and cuttings and conducting seafloor disturbing activities, including anchoring and placement of bottom-founded structures, on the 14 OCS blocks located within 1,000 meters of northern sea otter critical habitat, as shown on the map in orange. Finally, the gillnet fishery mitigation alternative was developed to reduce the potential for conflicts with the Cook Inlet drift gillnet fishery. Under this alternative, all available OCS blocks would be offered for lease with stipulations prohibiting on-lease seismic surveys during the drift gillnetting season, which the Alaska Department of Fish and Game designates as running from approximately mid-June to mid-August. It would also require lessee notifications to the local drift gillnet fishing organization when planning such surveys. These stipulations would affect the 117 whole or partial OCS blocks north of Anchor Point, as shown in the map in red crosshatching. This slide summarizes the number of OCS blocks and the percent of the lease sale area affected by each draft alternative and their respective subalternatives. Your comments are important. Public input helps BOEM identify and evaluate potential issues and concerns related to oil and gas development. This input also helps inform decision makers charged with determining where and when lease sales may be offered. Comments on the Lease Sale 258 Draft EIS will be accepted through regulations.gov, the federal government's official commenting portal. For more information, including instructions for commenting and a schedule of virtual public hearings, go to our virtual meeting room at www.boem.gov/CookInlet2021. Comments are most helpful when they are fact-based, include links to data or research, and provide specifics as to how you or the environment will be affected. Thank you for participating as we prepare this EIS.